Morning. We are at the LBJ Grasslands up by Decatur, Texas. We are I'm parked at the Tadra trailhead. I have no idea what Tadra stands for, but it's T-A-D-R-A. Parked here, so I'd mark a good spot for my truck. Starting out on the hike, gonna do probably, I don't know, 15, 18 miles, something like that. And just getting started for the day. Nice little, about 60 degrees this morning, a little cool, but not cold, so that's a plus. So we are on our way. So we'll see you on the trail. Bye. So we are starting out on the Blue Trail. We'll hike that around, I think there's about 5 or 6 miles around to the Orange Trail or something. But anyhow, you can see how the trail's marked here. I've read in my research, I found some spots where there are some articles where it talked about how some of these trails weren't marked very well. So I downloaded the GPX onto my GPS, and hopefully that'll keep us on the right track. From what I can tell of the map, I think we're going to see a lot of areas like this where we're just walking through open grassland prairie, and the next thing you know, we're in these post oak groves. There's also a couple of pine groves out here. So everybody recommends camping in the Piney Woods area, and if you pull up Google Earth or Google Maps, there's an area listed as Piney Woods Campground. And I think it's just a trailhead entrance is basically what it amounts to, but I don't think there's any fee for anything camping over there. No reservation system, it's just first come, first served, but really pretty area, and it looked to be pretty popular. Since I'm out here doing a solo hike, and I'm not all that fond of being in a popular area, then I probably won't camp there tonight. Probably camp somewhere within that vicinity, but just well away from people. I've also got some water cached over close to there. There's a lot of ponds and lakes out here, but I haven't seen any streams that are spring fed or anything like that. So if you're gonna get your water out here, you probably need to boil it and then filter it. And one thing that's concerning to me is the area is heavily used for equestrian, and I don't know if any of you's very familiar with horses, but I've been sitting on one of them's back when it was standing in the pond, drinking water and peeing at the same time. And I'm not real fond of drinking a horse's urine, so I cached some water at one of the road crossings, so it'd be easy to find, and I marked it on my GPS. Anyhow, see you on the trail. Looks like we just entered some kind of old road trace here. Certainly dished out like it's been used a while. Not sure though. Nice hike so far. Here's one of the road junctions I was referring to. And this is just an old forest road, but it's marked on the map, so it gives you quite a few reference points out here. And here, whether you're on the trail or on somebody's pasture, if you open the gate, you close the gate and latch it back. So here, to our right, we have Little Cottonwood Lake. Looks like it's just some type of flood control dam. And then over here on this side, we have Cottonwood Lake. It looks like there's some folks out there fishing. Looks like it'd be a great place to kayak fish, assuming there's fish in there. It's kind of hidden back in here though, so my guess is it's not fished too hard. So we may have to come back up here and bring the kayaks and rod and reels and plastic worms and see what happens. And here we're following the Blue Trail. Looks like they got a few pigs out here too. This area right here I just walked into is all rooted up. But hey, you can hunt out here with a bow or a shotgun. Just no rifles. And I think I read it's about 20,000 acres out here. Looks like there's a lot of folks out here bird hunting too. A lot of cover, a lot of good grass for them, so should be good. All right, we just crossed County Road 2560. Come through another set of gates. House and horse over here. Look like one trail. Maybe the orange trail went off that way, or a different trail anyway. And then Blue Trail's this way. So we're going to still on the Blue Trail for a while. Probably another 2 or 3 miles, and then we tie in with the orange trail for a little bit. And we'll see what happens there. Also, we bought this new Garmin InReach. So far I'm really liking this thing. I'll try to give a little better review of it this evening, but I'm kind of testing it out this morning. For backpacking, it's kind of replacing my heavy Garmin Montana GPS and the Spot rescue thing, satellite beacon, whatever the heck you want to call it, that we have. So this thing is, it's lighter than my Montana, and it's replacing 2 units. So far I'm liking it, and we'll talk about it later. See you on the trail. I wanted to mention too that I read some comments of people saying that the trails weren't very well marked, and it's hard to keep up with what was what. And I'll tell you, so far there haven't been any issues at all with trail markings. Granted, some of it was flagging, but there hadn't been any question of where the trail's at. It's been very well marked. Got permanent markers every quarter mile or so, and then flagging every so often. So I don't know where them folks, maybe they come out here before the flagging was up, but right now it's trail's well marked. Hopefully it stays that way. See you on the trail. Well, there's my first pine grove on the hike. I saw several driving in. That's the first ones I've come close to. Oh, maybe we'll find something like that to camp in this evening rather than close to that campground. I bet it's a nice area for bedding underneath there. Yeah. Having fun so far. Nice and quiet. Haven't seen anybody on the trail, and you know I really like that. And so far the trail has been in pretty decent shape. It's not, you know, although it's used a lot for equestrian, the trail's not too eat up. And so they must do a pretty good job of maintaining these trails out here. I can tell that they keep them mowed, which is a big plus. And if they're mowing them, they're probably blading them every now and then. Quite nice. So far, I would certainly recommend coming out here for a hike. I found a little clearing up here. Looks like somebody's been camping up here before. It's about 11:30. Nice little clearing. Looks like a good spot for lunch. See you in a bit. It's like a great place for lunch. Here we have some homemade dried Axis sausage. I shot this thing Sunday before Christmas. So I spent the day before Christmas Eve butchering it, Christmas Eve smoking it, the day after Christmas eating it. And it's good stuff. Take a look at that. It is delicious and healthy. Not much fat in there. And the Axis is all lean meat. I did put a little beef fat in there just to keep it from being too dry. But it's a cured sausage. I did it in the smoker on my back patio. It took about 5-6 hours to cook it or to smoke it. Use some apple wood for smoking. I've tried using mesquite or hickory. I think apple gives meat the best flavor. Especially wild meat, like deer or whitetail deer or Axis. Feels a little strange being out here without Barbara. But she had to work today. I'm on vacation. I do have plenty to do at home, but I wanted to go hiking. So here I am. Back to lunch. If you're interested to know what kind of seasoning I used in this, just put a comment in the notes below or whatever, and let me know, or let Barbara know, and I'll let her know, and then she can reply to you. But we all know that Craig don't do anything on YouTube. That would be Barbara's domain. Well, I think we're about 3 miles in now, so a little over 3 miles. I'm gonna finish up my lunch, and then we'll get back to hiking here a little bit. See you on the trail. It's like there's mile number 4. This is a little different than anything we've hiked today. More like a trail than a road. These little ponds like this are just everywhere out here. I bet I've passed one every quarter or half a mile anyway. But again, horses tend to drink and pee at the same time. Might want to keep that in mind if you're drinking out of a stock tank out here. Saw a bobcat on the trail up here in front of me. I was hoping to get it on video, but didn't.
A wandering heart on a crazy ride, an open road and a deep blue sky. Feel it calling me like the wind. Trust the compass down in my skin. Walk straight, stay right. That's what they say to me, but I don't fit right inside the lines. I hear the calling down in my bones, so I'm following where my arrow goes.
Alright, so now we are on the Orange Trail. We're about almost 8 miles in. I got about another probably mile to the water cache and then another mile or so to find a camp spot on this Orange Trail. Or if I'd have stayed on the Blue Trail, I probably had another 4 miles of hiking for the day. My feet are getting tired, so we took the Orange Trail. I think I'll probably be about close to 9 miles for the day by the time I get to the water cache. Then off into the woods to find a camp spot. So, probably stop and take another break when I get up here a little ways. I don't know if I'll make it to the water cache or not. Feet are starting to hurt. Need to rest them a little bit. Got plenty of daylight left. Ain't no sense in pushing it too hard. Been a great hike so far. This time of year is the perfect time of year to do this trail system. I wouldn't want to do it in the summer because it's just too open. This time of year in summertime, this trail would be hot, hot, hot. But right now, temps and I think the high for the day was about 70 degrees. It's perfect. Dispersed camping in the grassland area. I did call the ranger station to confirm it. You can also have campfires out here so long as the county is not in a burn ban. I don't remember exactly what county this is in, but I checked it and it is not in a burn ban. So we'll get to have a little campfire tonight so long as we can find a spot where it's cleared off and I'm not going to set the countryside on fire. Because while it's not in a burn ban, you can tell the grass around here is dry. I don't expect it would take much to get it going. Yeah. See ya on the trail. For those of you that don't know, here's another little lesson. When you see purple painted on a tree or on a fence post, that is a sign of no trespassing. That means you are entering private property, and typically means they will call the law. So don't go past that. That is telling you to stay off their property.
No one knows what the future holds. So I'm following where my arrow goes. Following where my arrow goes. When I was young, my mom told me, son, that soul of yours was born to run. It's your adventure for you to choose, and you'll know home when you find your roots. Just remember, don't walk straight, stay right. That's what they say to me, but I don't fit right inside the lines. Whoa. I hear the calling down in my bones.
Hey folks, finally made it to camp. Wanted to give you a quick talk about this inReach. So far I'm really tickled with the thing. Does have some limitations. We'll get into that in a minute, but first off, I was able to upload about 70 miles worth of trail out here at LBJ Grasslands, just north of Decatur, Texas, and was able to import those GPX files directly from All Trails onto here via a Bluetooth app. So what I did, I was able to download it to my phone to a web-based app, and then it just automatically sends it to via your account to your inReach. Really simple, so much better than the old Garmin Basecamp software. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, but it's not very user-friendly. The new app, inreach.garmin.com, you have to set up an account, but once you do that, everything is just very intuitive, walks you right through it, no big issues at all. Was able to upload about the first night we got it, we charged it. I was able to that evening upload about the GPX files from All Trails. What I've also learned is it's not touchscreen like my Montana 650. It's got the old toggle buttons on it, but Garmin has a app for your smartphone now where you can connect via Bluetooth to this device, and so any messaging that I need to send out, I can access my full list of contacts in my iPhone, send messages via the app through this to my wife, to my son, to whoever, anybody in my contact list. So I really like that. The limitations of it. Well, first off, let me show you before we. There's a screen. I don't know if you can see it very good, but I mean that's it's a smaller screen. It's kind of like some of the smaller Garmin GPSs, but it works great. It doesn't have much internal storage, and you can't put a micro SD card in it like you can the Montana. So once you're full, you're full. So you'll just I'll have to be sure to, when we finish a hike, delete the trails that are in it or the routes that are in it and any waypoints that I've saved. And then so I can have space to import the new map trails. Another limitation that I think it's a limitation with my Montana, if my rechargeable battery went low, I was able to pull that rechargeable battery and operate it on 3 AA batteries. This one you can't remove the battery, so you have to take an external battery with you to charge it. But I've ran it all day and it's on 87% battery life left. So my gut tells me I could probably operate this thing on for 4 or 5 days without any issue. I've had it sending tracks messages to Barbara about every 10 minutes all day, or every 30 minutes, excuse me, every 30 minutes. And been messaging back and forth with her today because the cell service out here is pretty poor. Yeah, I'm tickled with it. I am in the Piney Woods campground, exactly where I said I wasn't going to be. Problem is what I've learned out here is when they say grassland, they mean grassland. I found very few campsites along the way, and for the last 3 or 4 miles, I found none. And I really wasn't in the mood to build a campsite. And even, you know, there's a lot of live oak out here, but even deep in that timber, there's still grass. Looks like they do prescribe burns pretty regular and keep the underbrush down so that the grass can grow, and it does. And I didn't feel safe trying to start a fire somewhere out there, so I just pushed on over till we got to this Piney Woods campground, which I think is ended up being about 13 miles for today. So I'm gonna finish up camp, get the camp set up, get me some dinner, and go to bed. See you on the trail. Morning, folks. We are getting ready to start our day 2 hike back out to the truck. We ended up staying here at Piney Woods campground last night. Nice campground, flat area, good place for campfires. Wasn't many places along the way on the last 4 miles of the trail that I did that I could find anywhere that I could build a campfire without having to clear a bunch of grass and brush out before doing it. So I pushed on and got here. I think I got about 5 or 6 miles to get out this morning. Nice morning, a little foggy. I can hear some hunters. That sounds like they're shooting ducks out here somewhere. There's ponds there everywhere, so it doesn't surprise me. So we'll try to make our way out, and hopefully a duck hunter won't mistake us for a duck. See you on the trail. All right, we've walked about a half a mile from the Piney Woods campground, and we're at a crossing here. We can go straight and continue on the yellow trail, which was what we started out on this morning, or we can go right and go on the it's a junction trail, both blue and orange. We're going to go down the blue and orange trail. Yeah, they cross again down here a ways, but the yellow trail just kind of winds through there. I'm just don't see much point in that one, so oh, camera's crooked. We're gonna go this way.
Won't you come with me? We'll go ride the breeze, singing "C'est la vie." It feels just right. It's a brand new day. I can hardly wait. So for goodness sake, I think it's time. Yeah. Let's tell the world about it. Help spread a little light. It all comes back around. It feels so good to be alive. Up hills and over mountains, they'll know it far and wide. It all comes back around. It feels so good to be alive. Take my hand, we'll go cue the band for a song and dance. We'll go all night. What do you say? We go place to place, put it on display. Oh, what a sight. Let's tell the world about it. Help spread a little light. It all comes back around. It feels so good to be alive. Up hills and over mountains, they'll know it far and wide. It all comes back around. It feels so good so good to be alive. Up hills and over mountains, they'll know it far and wide. It all comes back around. It feels so good to be alive. To be alive. To be alive. To be alive. So good to be alive. Let's tell the world about it. Help spread a little light. It all comes back around. It feels so good.